Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to solve another problem. But before moving forward, if you have not liked the video, please like it, subscribe to my channel so that you get notified whenever I post a new video. So without further ado, let's get started. So the problem is palindrome partitioning. So in this problem, we'll be given a string. We have to partition this string in such a way that every substring is a palindrome. So this we are given a string and we need to divide that string into different substrings, but those substrings should also be a palindrome, should be a palindrome. So we need to return all the possible palindromic partitions of the string. A palindrome, as we know, is the string that reads the same backward as forward. For example, if we have something like this A B A, if you see, if you read it from left to right, it's ABA, and if you read it from right to left, it's ABA. So it's same if you read it from left to right, if you read it from right to left. So this is a palindrome. So let's understand what the problem is saying. In the problem, let's take this test case. So what they want, that this string is given to us, this string is given, and we need to divide this string into different substrings. We need to divide it into different substrings. But those substrings could not be anything. Those substrings should be palindrome. Should be palindrome. They should be palindrome. That is, if you see this, let's take this is the string which is given to us. So if we start from the starting, we will see this is letter A. Now a single letter is itself a palindrome. For example, I have a letter K. So K is obviously a palindrome. How? Because it's a single letter, right? So if you, even if you read it from forward or backward, it will be K only. So you see, like, this is single letter A, this is a palindrome. So what we will do, okay, we found one substring, this is a substring which is itself a palindrome. Let's take this and let's think on the further. So the further part is AB. Now we go on this A and we see, okay, this is also a single letter and this can also be a palindrome, because also single letter could be palindrome. So this will be also itself a palindrome. Now the left string is B, and B is also single letter and it is also a palindrome. So one palindromic partitioning of S is single A, then this other A, and then the last B. So these are different substrings. These are different substrings of this string S, and they are themselves palindrome. Right? This was uh, one case. Now for the same string, let's see, is there any other palindromic partitioning possible or not. So we have AAB, this was the string. Now if you see, earlier we had taken this single A only. We have taken this single A only and we saw that, okay, this was a palindrome, and we took it and then we saw on the rest of the substring, which was AB. We have taken this single A for once. Now we will not take this single A, we will take it with this A. Because earlier we have taken this single A, now we will take it with this. We will take these two together because we have to take a substring and these are a substring. So we will see, is AA, this AA is a palindrome? Yes, see, AA is a palindrome. You read it from this side, you read it from this side. It will be AA only. So we got one substring which is a palindrome. So we will take this and we will move on the rest of the string. So the rest of the string is B. B is a single letter and itself a palindrome. So take B. So this is also a palindromic partitioning possible of this string S. So earlier we saw this one. Earlier we saw this one. Now we saw this one. So there are two ways possible. This one and this one. So this is a problem. We need to return all the ways which are possible uh, to divide this string into different substrings which are palindrome. So this is the problem. Now if you have understood the test case, this test case, so you must have gotten some approach in your mind that what exactly we can do by analyzing this test case only. So if let's understand once. So we have this string A B, and this was the input, this is the input, and let's see the output also. So output is, if you see it closely, output is a array, see, this is an array, and in that array we have again an array in which there are different substrings of that string s. So this is main array, this is a main array, and these are the smaller arrays which have are different answers, right? So this is a main array and these are the answers. So a comma b was answer, this was one answer, and a comma this was one answer, right? So if you see, by looking at this output only, this is output, looking at this output only, you will be able to get the approach. In this case, in this answer, we are taking just single a first. In the second one, we are taking both the first two characters together. So these are cases, these are cases, we are taking different cases. First we have taken this, then we have taken this, then we have taken, we can take this also. Why we are not taking a and b? Why we are taking them together? Because we need to find the substring, and substring is together, like characters which are together forms the substring. If if there was subsequence allowed, then we could have taken a and b, right, like that. So now let's make different cases. Now we understood we have to make different cases, and whenever there is whenever there are cases, so we know that we will be using recursion, right? So let's start and make the recursive tree. So first of all, uh, we'll our I pointer, let's say we have I pointer, because we'll be traversing the string, right? We'll be traversing the string. So this is our I pointer, it's initially over here at here. So what we are doing, we will check, okay, we have this a, and so this array, this is the main array, right? I'll be having a main array in which I will store my smaller arrays. So let's say this is our output array, this is our output array, and small arrays, these small arrays will have a one palindromic partitioning, right? So let's take that as temp, that small array will be temp, right? Now I will check for this a, I will see whether it is a palindrome or not. A is a palindrome because it's a single letter, so it's a palindrome. I can break this string over here, means this is one substring. So I found my one substring, I will put this in temp, because temp, what temp has, temp has different substrings, temp has different substrings which are palindrome. Now I have taken this a, and the rest of the string which is left will be ab. So now the recursive call will go on this string, this one. Now our I will be here, I will be here, earlier I was here, now I will be here. So now we will check, we'll take this a, we will see if this a is a palindrome, a is also a palindrome. So what we'll do, we'll add it into the temp. Earlier temp had this a, now again a will be added, this a is the second a, right? Now the rest of the string which is left is b, which will go, and we will further do recursive call on this b, and I is shifted to here now. So if you see, every time in each recursive call, I is going one position ahead. If you do indexing 0 1 2, earlier I was on 0, now I is in on 1 index, now I will is here at 2 second index character. So at each recursive call, we will be incrementing I to I plus 1, right? Now see, this is b, we'll check is b a palindrome. See it's a single letter, b is a palindrome. So what we will do, we will add it into the temp variable, and temp array, and the rest of the string will be sent, which will be empty, because there is nothing, this is empty string. When we got empty string, means we have divided this string, this main string, into different substrings, so that all different substrings which are palindrome, and we have stored that in temp. So that's why we have arrived at the empty string. So once we arrive at empty string, this temp array I will add it into my output array, which is my main array, like this I'll add. So this I'll add, this temp will go in this. output array when I hit the base case. So this is the base case when the this string becomes empty, right? Now what we have to do, see, now what we need to do is we have earlier taken this single a, we have taken this only this a into consideration, right? Now what we need to do, we need to take these together, right? We need to take these together. So how we can take these together? Over here now something called backtracking will come into picture. Why backtracking is used and why backtracking is required, let's see that. Backtracking over here, now we have taken b, we have considered, we have taken b in our answer, we have considered it. Now just go to the earlier position, means go to this earlier array. So what we will do, if this is the array which is we are having right now, we are having this array and we need to go back to this array, what we will do, we'll just pop b. So when you need to do backtracking, just pop the element from the array, pop. So b will be popped and temp will become again this. Now I again want to go to this position. So what I'll do, I will just pop this a. Now over here we have this, over here we have this. Now I want to pop this single a also, this a, because I now want to take these a together. So again I will pop this. So pop this, now temp becomes empty again. So that's why we are taking backtracking into consideration. Backtracking is just simple that we are backtracking to the previous state. This was the previous state now. So what we are doing is we are just popping the last element one by one. So now what we'll do, we have reached this state. Now we'll take these AA together. So we will see if AA is a palindrome or not. AA is a palindrome, hence we will add it in the temp array. So temp array, I'll write here, temp array will become this AA. And the rest of the string, which is B, will be passed further. Now we'll see if B is a palindrome. B is a palindrome, hence add it into the temp array and move further. So empty string we get. When we get empty string, means we hit the base case and temp has one answer. So add temp into the output array. So this temp will be added in the output array. So if you see, we have now what we'll do, we'll backtrack for this also, because now we need to take AAB. Now we need to take these together. So you can take these together. So same thing, you will do backtracking from this state to this state. From this state to this state, you will pop this B. From this to this, you will pop this A. And then you will take these three together. A, B. You will take these A, B together. But this is not a palindrome, so it will not be added to temp. So this will not be added to temp. Hence we'll do nothing, and see, we have traversed the entire string. So I hope you understood what we are doing. This is not the complete tree. You can make the complete tree, and once make a complete tree and you will understand how it's working. And if you have any doubt, please let me know in the comments if you have any doubt in how this is working and how recursion is working. So in this way we have taken, see, this is the output array, main array, and these are the temp arrays. These are the smaller arrays which have the palindromic partitioning of the string. So now let's see how it's working. So this is the function given to us, partition string. We are given a string. What we are making, this vector of vector, means this is our main output array. Main output array, because this is a vector which itself at each index contains a vector. So that's why we have taken vector of vector, and string, because each position there is a string. This is the result, and we have taken a temp array. Now we are making a helper function. Why we are making a helper function? Because we need to pass this result and temp array in each recursive call. If you see, in each recursive call we were passing the temp array and temp array was getting updated. So that's why if we cannot use this function because it has only one parameter. So that's why we are making a helper function, and we are passing this by reference. If you see, result we are passing by reference. Now at the last we'll return result. Now let's see this helper function. This is a function to check whether a string is palindrome or not. I hope you know how to check whether a string is palindrome or not. So now let's see the helper function. So in the helper function, this is the base case. This is a base case in which we are checking if the string size is 0, means we reach the this is the base case, and just add the current temp array to the result array. We were doing this now, like when we reach the base case, we added the temp array to the output array. Then we will be going at each position, like we'll be running a loop to on each on the string. First of all, we'll take the single a, then we take this ab, like that. So we are having this loop, and we will find the left partition first. We'll find the left. We are using substring function to find the left partition. For example, if I have to explain it, like 1 second, let's take this. If we have a b, so if I is here, initially I is at 0, so this will be our left part. This is the left substring, this left part. We will check whether it is a palindrome or not. If this is a palindrome, then only we'll move, then only we'll break here, then only we'll break here. For example, if this is given let's take CEF, and our substring, this is our left part, this is our left part, we will not break over here, we will not make CE and then we'll check for F. Why? Because CE is not a palindrome. In the temp array, only palindrome strings will go. So if the left part is palindrome, then push it into temp and then do the recursive call on I plus 1. And then we are popping back because we need to take different case. So this is the code. I hope you understood it. If you have any doubt, please let me know in the comments. And if you like the video, please like it, share with your friends, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.